So here I am in Bogota, Colombia. I just couldn't have imagined my life would have turned out this way. If you told me that I would be here and traveling around the world 5 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. This is ultimately a result of just doing what I truly believe in and just doing the hard work. And that's sort of my message for you guys today. Do the hard work. I know you're scared. I know you have fear, and I know that you're anxious, frustrated, and all these millions of emotions that you're gonna go through. But at the end of the day, doing the hard work is going to be the most fulfilling in your life and where you find purpose and contentment. And as a testament to myself and my message, I'm gonna continue doing the hard things until I can't. And that's my message to you guys today. Do the hard work and you'll live an easy life. It's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. That's one of those quotes that I really subscribe to, and I've been trying to live out as a proof of concept for my entire life. And it all started when I joined the Marine Corps. Joining the Marine Corps was always something that I wanted to do. I realized that if I wanted to become the man that I am destined to become, I needed to do something that was difficult. I knew that I had to step out of my comfort zone and that no one was gonna give me anything, and I had to earn it with my bare hands. And going through the Marine Corps, going through boot camp and being commissioned as an officer in the US Marine Corps set me on a path and a trajectory that has ultimately changed my life. I enjoyed doing the hard work. And as crazy as it sounds, I feel like this is the way to live life on easy mode. And I know it's not the answer that most people are looking for. They're looking for an easy way out, a get-rich-quick scheme, something that can give them an easy out. And what I mean by that is, instead of doing the hard work, someone is gonna give me the answer. Instead of going and searching out and figuring things out for yourself, you expect someone to hand it to you on a silver platter. And I think in society right now, it is more common than ever before to expect things to be given to you. And I get it. It makes it so easy, and I feel like that we cannot go back to the way life was, because now everything is so easy. And the fact that we can order food and have it delivered straight to our house, we can order things on Amazon and have it delivered maybe even within a day. It's crazy if you think about it, but everything has been so simplified, and I think that even though there are huge benefits to it, that it is ultimately making us lack the courage and the wherewithal to actually pursue doing hard things and to ultimately gain this fulfillment that we're so desperately looking for. And personally, I grew up in a poor immigrant neighborhood in Queens, New York, where the stark difference is crazy, because New York City is one of the richest places in the world, and I grew up in a place where there was a huge lack, where there was immigrants and we were basically trying to survive. We were not thriving, that's for sure. And not only does this show you that in order to make your way throughout the world, you're gonna have to put in the work. Not all of us were able to be born with a silver spoon in our mouths, and we have to work for everything that we ever want in our lives. And even though it sounds like tough love, but I think most of us need to hear this, because we're expecting things to be given to us and not earned. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and you're getting some value out of it, please, if you can just click the like button and actually subscribe, that would be really, really helpful, because it helps the YouTube algorithm actually show my content to more people. As always, thank you for watching. Doing hard work isn't easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. But that's where the magic happens, because the mere fact that most people don't want to do the hard things means that you can set yourself apart. And the mere fact that you're here watching this video and trying to improve yourself and get better and be better and just improve yourself overall to reach your potential says a lot about you. And it's not about waking up early or just going to the gym after work or doing these hard things just for the sake of doing them. But it's one more notch on the belt saying that you can do these hard things that over time builds all the things that you want out of life, which is having the confidence, having a strong track record and reputation for doing hard things, and ultimately, 3, which is probably the most important part, is that you're going to live a more fulfilling life and a content life, because doing hard things is going to basically are the cheat codes for life. Because once you start doing hard things and you start enjoying the journey and the process, you're going to realize that life is so much easier because you're not actively fighting against it. There are many of us, and we all have bad days. I don't want to get out of bed and I don't want to put in the work. But that is one more time that I know that I cheated myself out of doing the hard work and ultimately getting a satisfying reward, which at the end of the day, I can go to sleep knowing that I put in the effort, I put in the hard work, and that I am ultimately satisfied and content with what I have done. And I get it. One of the emotions that when we are going through something hard and we're about to reach something that we're maybe uncertain of, maybe we've never done before, we have all these emotions of anxiety, of fear, of frustration, of awkwardness, of fear of embarrassment, and all these things are coming from our ego to have to do something perfectly for the first time, having to not get embarrassed because we might try something and fail in front of our friends and family. But that's one of the crazy things in life, right? And a perfect example is I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm just trying to practice and get better at communicating and be better and share my thoughts and my feelings about certain topics that I'm super interested in. And I hope that in the long run that it helps other people. But I know I'm not perfect. I know that there are plenty of times where I went in front of the camera and basically said the wrong things, right? And this comes with trials and errors and many iterations and many cuts that you guys don't see. And that's just part of the process, right? And I hope to look back in 2 or 3 years from now that I am happy that I started from somewhere. And this is hard work. This is a perfect example, right? I am not a natural storyteller. I am not a natural get in front of a camera person, right? I don't know how to video edit. I don't know many things. And, this is sort of like a documentation of the hard work that it requires, and it might take years, but I realize that it's a methodical process and it takes many iterations. And I hope that this is sort of like a challenge to you that, hey, you might not be perfect, and doing these hard things are not easy, but at least give it an attempt. And that's sort of like the psychology of doing hard work. It's never gonna be easy, but it's always going to be worth it, because ultimately what you're going for is to put some pressure on yourself in order to continue to grow and reach your full potential. So how can I practically apply doing hard things to my everyday life, right? We all have to start somewhere, all right? It doesn't mean doing hard things to impress other people, to have something to talk about on social media or post about it. It's about yourself, your inner self, and that's the most important. Doing hard things so that at the end of the day, you're satisfied, and when you put your head on the pillow, you can sleep well at night, knowing that you put in the effort, you put in the hard work, and that you have the memories and the experience of doing the hard work, right? For some of us, it's going to be making our bed every day in the morning, right? As simple as that. We're not talking about being an astronaut. We're not talking about climbing a mountain or running a marathon. It is relative to you. All right, as long as you do something hard that is better than you were yesterday or harder than something that you did yesterday, then you're on the right track. And over time, the experience, the time, and the effort that you place into doing hard things is going to compound like no other, all right? Think long term, right? What are the long-term benefits that I want? If I say I want to become a better writer, I'm going to write every single day. If I want to become a better speaker, I'm going to speak and produce content in order that forces me to communicate better and to storytell, right? That is putting in the effort every single day where no one's watching, when no one cares, and that is ultimately what is going to be most satisfying. Because it's better to start at the bottom and slowly climb your way up and make the harrowing journey and build your own hero's journey rather than having it handed to you on a silver platter. All right, life is going to be so much more fulfilling. And I think back to the days when I was still in the Marine Corps, and I was going through some of the most difficult times in my life, and I didn't realize at the time, but the journey itself was the most rewarding. Doing the hard work, doing the hikes, learning new skills, being put in front of others in order to lead. Those were all things that I had never would have imagined that I was able to do, and going and traveling all across the world, right? I could have never imagined my life to be that way. But looking back, hindsight, the memories I've created, the people that I've met, the experiences that I have attained, and the pure joy of knowing that I was able to do these things and be able to sleep satisfied at night because I was able to accomplish certain things, not for other people, but for myself. Having that inner courage, that moral courage to do the things that I was definitely scared of, has ultimately transformed my life. And that's why I always tell people that doing the hard things is like living life on easy mode, because it sets you up so that everything else in life is easier. You are not afraid of doing the hard things, and in fact, you find it a challenge and you go after it because you know from your past experience that you were able to conquer these hard things, that anything in the future is going to be easier and in some cases a piece of cake. So it's sort of like a life hack. The more hard things you do, the easier life gets. And I hope that this resonates with you guys, and I hope that you guys share some of your own experiences, whether that's graduating from college, whether that is getting your first job, whether that is climbing Mount Everest, whether that is running a marathon or a half marathon or running a 5K, right? When was the last time you did something that was difficult